Hey, what's up, guys? Coach Daniel here, coming at you from my vehicle. I meant to do this in the gym earlier, but totally forgot. And I wanted to get it to you before tomorrow so you kind of understood where we're going, if you're still up. And I didn't want to do it in my house because my roommate's going to be like, "What the heck are you doing in there talking about CrossFit to yourself?" So, yeah, came out to my car. Hopefully I'll be quick on this. If you are interested in programming and where we are going with that post open, then please watch this video. It might be a little long, but I'm going to try to hurry. So, if you notice, since I've taken over programming in January, we've been building for the open. We were building first, and then we were trying to maintain all of our skills, and then based on what the open was giving us each week, we would adjust the workouts to keep working on the skills that we needed to work on and try to maintain our strength and all that type of stuff. So now that the open is over, this is my favorite time of year in regards to programming because it's time for us to start over. It's time to rebuild. It's time to grow our roots again and fix any nagging injuries and build strength in positions and increase our mobility and stability and work on our skills by starting out with the basics. And so what I mean by that is, like, let's say, for example, me during the open, my muscle ups, they look terrible. That's because I didn't work on them enough. And lots of you that were getting your first ones, maybe they didn't look as beautiful as you see on Instagram or like Brandon Jones's muscle ups. And that's because we've got to master each part of this whole entire movement that is required from these high skill type of movements. So what I mean by that is, just if you want to work on a muscle up, you don't go into the gym every day and just try to do a muscle up. You've got to, that works sometimes, right? I mean, there's some athleticism there that gets people away with things, myself included. So even like Brandon Jones, he's got to work on mastering all these little parts of the entire muscle up movement. And if he wasn't, that would be doing himself a disservice. So what I mean is, someone that can clean and jerk, let's say it's an Olympic weightlifter that goes to the Olympics and clean and jerks 400 pounds. I promise you, you're going to see them in their lead up working on the tiniest of details in that whole entire lift. There's a whole lot of moving parts, and they're mastering each piece of that moving part. They're breaking it all down and mastering all those pieces of it. And that's what we need to be doing. And that's what this cycle 1 is going to introduce, is mastering movements. And it will build off of each other. So cycle 2 will build off of cycle 1. So if you don't see movements in cycle 1 in our strength work, doesn't mean we're not going to work on it come cycle 2 or down the line. We're still going to work on it. Or if you don't see strength work movement, you'll see it still in Metcons and stuff like that. It's just not our focus within our strength work within that cycle. And so you should be breaking your years down and training into cycles, and you should be testing things and retesting things. So if you've been with me before, you know kind of how I do it that way. Lots of other big companies kind of follow that same structure, but I like to test my athletes and then retest them after I run like a 6 to 12 week cycle. So what we're going to do is we're going to deload this next week and this coming week and make sure our bodies are healing up, make sure any nagging injuries kind of have some time to subside. It's a good time to rest, to come to the gym and just move a little. Or if you're you're getting a little burnt out or something, it's a good time to take a break and recharge. And now all that's okay. Not every day needs to be a come to the gym and lay on the floor because you're so fatigued from the workout type day. We need to train, and that's what we're going to be doing. And we need to build functional bodies that are healthy and that are fit for life, not just inside the gym and not just to compete. That is all super fun. Trust me, I love to compete. The Open is amazing. It brings something out of me, and I'm sure it brought something out of all of you that you don't get to see very often. But if you notice, you do see a lot of sloppy movement, and you do see a lot of technique flaws in terms of doing things to move faster. So it is more efficient in regards to moving faster, but it's not beautiful with our technique, or like, man, I hope you guys can see me. It's not like a good technique or something that is technically great for our joints and our ligaments. And so we're going to bring all that back in. And the cycle one, we're going to work on building perfect positions within our strength work. So we're going to be doing pauses and tempo work, which also introduces hypertrophy to our strength, meaning we're working on building some size also, not just strength. So any muscle that is bigger can become stronger, and it also helps build bone density and things like being strong and being able to breathe in certain positions and having the mobility and stability to achieve good positions, which in turn increases our efficiency. So if you look at somebody like Rich Froning, the dude is super strong, so meaning he can move lighter weights a lot better than someone who isn't as strong. So being strong in terms of competing is super important, just for that alone. And then also, if we're talking about for life, for health and wellness, when you're older, you want to be, sorry, when you're older, you want to be able to walk up some steps. You want to be able to pick your grandkids up. You want to be able to get out of your bed comfortably, to get off the floor if you were to fall. This is all stuff we should be thinking about that we don't. We take for granted our young bodies, or our bodies where they're at right now, that are going to degrade over time. So we need to fight against that and understand that there's certain movements that we should be doing and that we should be focusing on, like our warm-ups. If you notice, our warm-ups are great times for accessory work. That's what it is. So take it seriously, own it, remember what it is. Don't just go through it without paying attention. If you are serious about that warm-up, it is only going to help your body and prime you for that day. But that's a tangent. Man, I don't remember what I was talking about. Strength work, it's going to slow down, pauses and tempo. So for example, we're going to do 3-second count down, 3-second count up on a back squat, or we're going to pause in the hole. And what this is going to do is get you strong in the bottom of the hole. It's going to help your mobility and stability down there. It's going to make sure your technique is good, because you're going to slow it down. You're not going to bounce out of the hole. You're not going to damage the body any more than it should be damaged. Like if you were just doing a heavy back squat where you're slamming in and out of the hole, the pounding that takes on your joints and ligaments is pretty unnecessary in terms of just building strength. It can be utilized in a fast workout or times you need it in competing, but not in our training when we're doing strength work. So we're going to work on fixing all that, fixing any movement issues. You guys had depth problems. We're going to fix that in this first cycle. And same thing with our other lifts. We're going to make sure we're just moving really well. Same thing with skill work. So what I was talking about, strict skill work, we're going to do. That way when you go into kipping things, and you'll still kip things during Metcons, we're not going to stop doing that. But with our skill work, we're going to work on strict strength. So strict pull-ups and strict handstand push-ups and all that type of strict ring dips, all that type of stuff. We're going to be making sure we can perfect all that and have the ability to get our bodies into those positions. And this is how, for you guys that don't care about competing, this is how you benefit the body from what CrossFit can offer you, is you work on strict strength. And then once you can show some competence there and some ability to get things done there, then you can work on starting to introduce kipping in. And that is how you keep your joints and ligaments safe and healthy, because you already have the strength there and the volume there built in. And so no matter your goal is, you see how we're going to cover it. And then our conditioning pieces, they're going to be still all the energy systems. We're going to mix it up. We're going to make sure we're hitting all the energy systems. And that's where you'll see your kipping stuff, and then like movements that you don't have in your strength work, they'll be there in your Metcon stuff. So you're still touching them. You're still staying familiar with these movements, but they might not be in your strength work. So don't worry. We'll still be working on everything. Regardless of your goal to get health and wellness, or to compete, or to work on some type of weakness, we're going to cover you. And also we're going to introduce this thing called accessory work programming. It will be completely customized by me based on what your goal is. So for example, if your goal is to do muscle ups and you don't even have them close yet, but that's one of your goals, you can't just come to the 1 hour class where we hit muscle ups once a week. And we can't do 5 days a week of muscle ups either, right? We've got to make sure we're working on everything. So if you're one of those people who want to work on one thing specifically, you need to spend time outside of a 1 hour class working on that. That is where accessory work comes into play. So if that is you, you will have the opportunity to work with me personally on your accessory work programming. And it'll be a fee, obviously, because I'm going to spend time developing this for you. And it'll be all worked out to you being able to do it at the gym, or if you go to another gym, like at work or something, you can work on it there. Or during our open gym, before or after classes. There's a whole lot of opportunity to do it, and it'll be 2 to 3 days a week that you would need to spend 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes maybe 20, before or after class or on your own time, working on this type of stuff. And if that is you, it could be running, it could be overhead squat mobility, it could be muscle ups, it could be a stronger deadlift, you name it. If you have a race coming up or a competition coming up, prep for that. Accessory work will fall under that. Same thing with our nutrition program. A lot of you guys that are wanting to compete and take that serious, don't put any work in on your nutrition. We have a source at the gym, me, that can help you with that. It does cost money, but your body and your health is invaluable. And when you get older, I think this is all something we would wish that we had spent more time on. I know I fall into that boat myself. So it's a matter of just putting in the work. And if that is something that is important to you, make sure you're looking into your nutrition. Look into this accessory work stuff, but the 1 hour class model will do a great job of covering everyone's bases. And there, probably not anymore, but there used to be some top level CrossFitters who were in the games who just came to the 1 hour class and somehow made it there. That's very unique, and it takes a very high quality athlete to do that, but it is doable. So if you've got extra things you want to work on, hit me up and we'll work on that with you. But yeah, cycle 1 is coming. We're going to deload this week. Then we're going to hit a test week. And it's going to be 5 days of testing. We're going to do strength work, skill work, conditioning. Every day we'll have 2 things. It's going to be fun, and I can't wait. Hope you guys enjoy it. And if you stuck around this long in the video, thank you.